Hey guys, it's Tasha and welcome to my podcast. So, this is a brand new podcast called Talks with Tasha, and in this podcast I'm just basically going to be talking about different range of topics in different series and different episodes. So, today's obviously my first episode. I'm super excited. I have a very special guest to introduce, but right now we're going to just talk about how I, thought about this idea and all of that stuff. So, guys, obviously this is a podcast and this series is going to be about talking about, growing up as a black girl and our struggles and our experiences and just any advice to you guys who, are growing up as well or just want to know about black culture and black girls. As a black girl, I can say there's been so many times that I've, had questions and I've wanted somebody to go to. So I thought, I'm going to make this podcast and we're going to talk about it. But this is the first series. In this series, there's going to be 4 episodes and this is my first one. So let's get straight into it. Today I have Kayana.
Hey.
Yay! It's so nice to have you on today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming. I actually really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Hey, Kayana.
Hey, Tasha.
So tell us a bit about yourself, what you study, what you do. Just a little brief.
So I am 17. I am from London. I study content production with you. Great.
Perfect.
I have a podcast.
Yes, guys, make sure you go listen to that. Yeah, I'm not even joking. I'm going to put that there. Yeah. This girl's voice is unreal. I'm not even joking. So,
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a podcast. I was a dancer.
Wow.
I do voiceover stuff.
That's
have a
really
radio
good.
Show.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do it all.
Trying to do it all, man.
We're trying to be successful in this life.
We're going to, literally, in this life, failure is not an option. She always says this. You put me on, you always
promise you, it's not an option.
It's not an option,
We're
not losing. We're not losing.
Absolutely not.
We're not.
Never that.
You always say to me, in this life, in this gen.
In this one, right here. Right now.
Failure's not an option. You know what I mean? It's not.
Tell them.
Right. So, thank you, Kana, for being on this podcast today. I really do appreciate it. Let's get straight into it. So,
let's dive in.
Right now, I just want to talk about how has life been for you growing up as a black girl? Because obviously, there's some struggles we're both gonna face, and in London as well. That's where we both come from. Just tell us have you had any struggles growing up as a black girl in just
in life? No, definitely. Yeah. I think you know what, it comes with the territory being a black girl in general, and I've moved around a lot, right? So there's a point in my life where I went to a school. I moved to an area where the school was predominantly white, right? So I was in a very predominantly white area.
Yeah.
And being a black girl in a predominantly an area where it's just
not easy.
One race, and that one race is not yours, it's definitely it's a very different experience.
Yeah, you're out of your space type of thing, isn't it?
It's definitely a different experience. It's something that you can't apprehend what it's going to be like.
Yeah, you can't prepare for it. Yeah,
you can never apprehend. You can never prepare for it. It's not something that you may obviously be comfortable with. Like me, I'm okay with adapting to different surroundings. Obviously, it comes with the things that we do. We're constantly networking.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
constantly know that when we're having to speak to different people, and we have to become very comfortable with our surroundings.
Yeah.
However, I don't know, growing up, not even growing up as such, but because I was only at that school for I think about 4 years, and then obviously I've come to college. I've moved back to London for college, but going to that school, it's just some things that obviously people are quite uneducated when they haven't had to be around it. Some people think that some things they say are okay, and it's not.
It's not okay. I know exactly what you mean.
Never okay.
It's never okay. So, wait, what? Is that your real hair? How long does it take to braid your hair? Stop! When they can't do that. Wait, how was your hair pink yesterday and now it's black? How does that work? Question is, obviously, do you have any advice for self-love and self-care as a black girl? Because obviously I know you're very confident in yourself. Obviously we can tell. I know you're so confident, and I love that. Yeah. But was there ever a point in your life you weren't as confident in yourself, or you just felt insecure?
1000%.
Yeah.
And I promise you, it didn't come easy. And I'm recently I've been a person everyone just love yourself, be confident. But I think it comes. Let me think how I'm supposed to phrase this.
Yeah.
It comes with like going through certain things where like you've now like become comfortable with yourself. Because I'm telling you right now, like even like now when I went to that school in a different area, I'd never so I was there for 3 or 4 years and I never wore braids, not once.
Did you see how my mouth opened? I was like, wait, what? What did she just say?
I never wore braids, not once, because I was so cautious that I was going to come in with braids. You're going to see me in a couple of weeks without them and be like, your hair is different.
All of these like, questions, you were just like wondering.
Questions and different comments. And obviously, curiosity, that's okay. Ask me everything you need. But sometimes people don't understand how they address their questions or address their conversations that they want to have with someone that obviously they find different about them. And so going through things like that. And obviously, it's not like, not all instances were uncomfortable, but sometimes being uncomfortable, you have to like become comfortable with it. So now someone that's like, oh my gosh, like
so carrying on from that, we're gonna move on and we're gonna talk about some experiences we faced as like growing up. I'm gonna tell you some experience I faced. I'm gonna ask if you can relate to that, because obviously 100%. Like I feel like there's a lot of situations that we go through that it's just like, damn, that will stick with you.
Like you remember for the rest of your life.
No, honestly, have you ever been like in class and like they've turned off the lights and then they'll be like, oh my days, where's Tasha?
You know what, that hasn't happened to me personally, but I've seen it happen to someone else.
No, honestly, it's so bad. It's so bad. I literally I remember I was in class, they'll turn off the light and then the boy was like, where's Tasha? I said, I wanted the girl to follow me, because how are you saying that? How are you actually like,
you know, and you just
it's unexplainable.
Because if it's one thing people are gonna have, it's actually the audacity. And so you have to look at people and be like, you're not being serious.
You're not being real.
You're not being serious.
You're not being real.
You did not just
say that. And it's always the black people. Like, you're black yourself. Like, it was always like in my class, it was literally always like the black people saying that, like, we are the same. We need to support each other. Like, I feel like there's a lack of support. Right now, the black community is growing so much. I love it. I love my support. But there used to be such a lack of support, especially when I was younger, primary school times. You know what it was?
It's people become accustomed to the victimizing, so some people seek validation from friends, because we all seek validation from some point in our lives. And at one point for me, it was I seeked, or I don't know, I like wanted validation from friends, and so I see that with a lot of other people, especially when people that are like you, they're not dominated in that area. So when there's like a lot of other people around you, and that's the friendship group that you've decided to stick with, people are agreeing with whatever they're saying. And so when my man was turning off the lights and he's like, where's Tasha? He's looking around for people to start laughing. He's looking around for people to say, But you know what's funny? Validation. Them same people that you was asking if they ate are laughing at you.
You're the joke. Because what are you doing?
You're the joke. Them same people, I promise you, when they now do it to you, because now they think it's okay, because you've done it, they think it's okay. Also, when you're laughing at their racist jokes, they now think they're super funny. Let them go somewhere else. Right. When people start wrapping guys up, it's long day anyway.
Long day for you anyways. Who are we to talk?
Who am I?
Who am I?
Because I've seen it way too much.
That's so true. I feel like the seeking validation thing is so true. Like, they look for their friends on like advice, and like they want that like hype. It keeps them going. It keeps them.
They want that hype. They want that. That's okay. That's funny. That's
exactly. Because you know when someone cusses you out, and then they don't care anything, they stop. But if their friends like, they'll go again. You know personally, I wouldn't have that.
They will feed in the ego.
They're feeding it, and then they just go on and on. It's like you're not eating, but it's the friends, it's the group, it's the like, honestly. And I would just say from that experience, I would honestly feel like, bro, like, what the hell? Just keep the light on for me. Like, at that point, just keep the light on for me. Like, it was really upsetting back then. Now if somebody was to do that to me, I'll look at them up and down. I'll say, you should be ashamed.
Honestly,
you should be in this life.
What would your mum say?
Ashamed. What would your mum say? What would your grandparents say?
What would your dad say?
Right. What would your family say? What would your sister say?
One time, like something similar, I was this is at prom. I was walking back from prom. I had this big old dress. Me and my friends walking back from prom, and on the other side of the road there was like these bunch of boys, and obviously there was one black boy, and then there was just other races. I can't even remember them anyway. I try not. The story's weird anyway. So we're walking, and I think the black boy must have been like, oh, like, guys, you lot are walking too quick, like, put your flashes on, like, I'm scared of the dark. And this is at like 11 o'clock at night, so like, they're like, I'm scared of the dark. And I knew what they were going to say next. I knew what they were going to say. They're walking, and he goes, guys, you lot are walking too quick, turn your flash on, I'm afraid of the dark. The rest of them, it was like it was orchestrated in unison. They said, you are the dark. I said,
black.
I had to look around and say, did anyone else hear
Sorry,
that?
what?
Did anyone else?
Sorry, what?
Was it just me that heard this?
You are the dark.
I said, was it just me? I mean,
at that point, it's just like, what? You had the nerve? You had the audacity?
Where do we go from here? And you know what?
It was a black person.
Of course. And the worst thing was, he's like, yeah, I know. And laughing. Why? What's funny?
What's funny? Because it's
Who
not
said-
funny.
who
What's the
said
joke?
what?
What's the joke?
You let me know the
Because
joke and I'll cue in my life.
You look stupid right now.
You
You're
look
standing
dumb as
there
hell.
chatting wasp because it doesn't
You
even
look
make
dumb
sense.
as hell. You sound stupid.
Because you know what, yeah? Nobody's actually black. Like, no, you know this. Oh, they can't even see it. But this black, nobody's this color. So when people say that, it's like,
I said you are the dark.
you are the dark.
You didn't eat.
That doesn't even deserve a response. Like,
This
it's
is what I
just-
mean. Silence. You're
it's
hearing
just-
crickets.
Yeah, no,
I
for real.
promise you're hearing crickets.
It's honestly like
silence. Cue the flipping
just silence.
Yeah.
Because how you. Anyways, moving on from that, those experiences, I would just say one word for them. Yeah.
Honestly,
They're life lessons and they help you grow.
1000%.
They are needed, but they really stick with you. I'm not gonna lie.
Character building.
It's character. That's what it is. And I'm so happy I
character
went through it because
building.
it's helped me come to where I am now.
There we
But
go.
at the same time, that when in that moment, I wanted the ground to swallow me. What do you mean? What do you mean, West Tasha? I'm right here.
You want the ground to open up.
You
and just
you
dip.
really do.
You
Like,
know what? Sometimes
how
I'm
you
thinking,
say
this
that?
has to be a dream.
No,
It's not
for
real.
real.
It has to be a dream.
Wake me up. Wake me up.
A
Wake me
lot.
up. Like,
Pinch
honestly.
me.
Yeah.
I'm not awake.
Okay, so lastly, we're going to go on to some advice, yeah? So if you got any advice to, like, let's say you had, like, your younger self, yeah? And you could just talk to her like that, 5-year-old Kayana who didn't know what she was into for her life. Like, what would you say to her? Advice about, like, in terms of her mental health, her self-love, you know, even when she's around her friends, when she went to that predominantly white school. Just tell us everything you would say to her. Let's hear it. I want to hear everything. The life lessons, the goals, anything. Like, it doesn't even have to be about being a black girl. Just what you would tell your younger self for advice.
That nobody cares. Like,
Yeah, that's a good one.
everything that I've done,
Yeah.
not everything that I've done, a lot of things that I do, or don't do, is because I think people are going to judge me, and I promise you nobody cares.
Nobody cares, guys. Nobody cares.
Nobody
You know what it
cares.
is?
Nobody will ask.
Yeah.
Even if they do, that it's asking out of curiosity. That moment
Exactly,
will
that's
pass.
it.
No.
After their interaction, they walk out, they forget what you said to them because they don't
Nobody cares.
care.
Nobody cares.
They got their own finances, they got their bills, they got phone bills to pay.
Like, everyone's got things to do.
Everybody's
Bills,
got
bills,
money
bills,
to
this, this,
make. You get what I
Like,
mean?
honestly, that's one thing that I'd probably tell myself.
Oh,
is
that's
that
such good
nobody
advice.
cares,
That
and
is
live
amazing.
life like nobody is watching.
That's
because no one
amazing.
is watching you but yourself.
Facts.
Like, and yourself is your biggest hater, your biggest champion, your biggest cheerleader,
your biggest,
biggest
competition,
dictator, like,
your biggest everything. It's
literally.
you. Because
like,
nobody else is going to actually physically hold you and stop you from
Yep.
doing something.
nobody.
Like, even when I made my YouTube channel, I remember I was like so scared. Like, I was like during lockdown, I think it was like at the end, I was like literally, I was talking to my sister told me the whole way. I was like, should I do this? Are you sure? She's like, Tasha, just do it. I was like, I was deep in it. I was literally like, oh my days, this is so crazy. I posted it. I tell you, I left my phone down for 5 minutes. I couldn't go on my phone. I sent the link to everyone. I was just gone. I came back and I saw the stuff. I was like, what the hell? And then a week later, everybody was just like living like it was normal. I was like, I just started a whole YouTube channel.
Yep.
They don't care. Nobody, like,
you
it's
are your
not like
own biggest worst enemy. Like, honestly, if that's honestly one thing I tell myself, I'm my own worst enemy,
Right.
and that nobody cares. Literally, like, even start my podcast, it took months because I was like,
you were
I can't
overthinking
do
it.
this.
Oh,
or like
babe.
even on my TikTok, I try to promote all those things that I do, so like my voiceover stuff, or like
Yeah.
just me just living. Like,
yeah.
and I don't post a lot of things because I'm like, there's a lot of people watching.
Yeah.
But I'm like, come on now, let's actually be for real.
Let's be for real.
Let's be for real.
Let's be for real.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
So yeah, if that's one thing I tell myself in everything that
Yeah.
you do, nobody cares and live life like no one's watching.
No, honestly,
guess what? Nobody is watching. Nobody's watching you.
There's no camera on you 24/7, guys. Live life for you. Oh, that's such good advice, Kaina. Thank you so much for being on this podcast today. I'm so happy to have you. Honestly, it's been great. Obviously, more episodes will come. You'll be on it. I need to get you back on it, guys. Can you hear her? Like, she doesn't speak anything but facts. It's like everything that comes out of your mouth is just facts. Like Rex. Like, it's so good. Like, honestly, it's been amazing having.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. You can stream it on TikTok. It will also be on Spotify, Instagram Reels. It's gonna be everywhere. So make sure you guys tune in. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys. See you in my next podcast.